For the entrepreneur, for the content creator, for the small business owner, for the dreamer, right? The visionary, the person who has something in mind to bring to fruition, something that has been nagging them, something that won't let them rest. There is a natural process that we each go through. I say we because I lump myself into this group. There is a natural process that we each go through to bring that thing to reality. But there's also some obstacles that we must overcome. There are some hills, as they say, to climb, some valleys to traverse. There's some things that we have to try to. I always want to say that a different way. There are some things that if they were not there, the end goal wouldn't be as sweet. So I'm hesitant to name them haters. I'm hesitant to name them detractors. I'm hesitant to name them obstacles, because if those things weren't there, it wouldn't be as victory, or the end goal or the end product would not be as sweet. The thing that you eventually end up with is a culmination of the entire process. And so that process is super critical. That process requires you to dig deeper to ensure that you tap into that why that is rock solid, that why that is immovable. Like, you would do this thing even if it wasn't paying you, even if it didn't work out the way. If it didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out, that's just an indicator that you will go back and work on it another way, that you will go back to the drawing board and figure out, how can I make this happen differently? This week we've been talking about launching a product, and we've been talking about getting to know your audience. How do you position your brand, your product, the marketing strategy, the promotion strategy, creating a realistic timeline. Who are the key stakeholders, and how do they fit into the puzzle of you launching your product? And today's particular episode, we are talking about the product launch, and then the final step, which is analyzing the process. And I wanted to say right here at the beginning, that is in the analysis of the process. It is in understanding what you have gone through from when you had that concept to where it is now a launched product or service. You will want that to be iterative, meaning you want to go back through that process multiple times to ensure you fine tune and tweak and take it to the next level. The process of launching is not done. In fact, it is never done. The process of launching, it will require you to go back. It will require you to now assess and say, this worked, this didn't, and here's why. And if you never get to the why piece, you're actually going to be in trouble, because if all you know is that it didn't work, and you don't understand why it didn't work, then you don't have any action items. You have nothing you can implement, and you don't have a product that is tried and true to be able to share with someone else who might be coming up behind you. Here's the truth. Everything that I learned about launch strategy, I learned from assisting a client in launching their product. I hope that you caught that. I learned from assisting a client in launching their product. And when we launched their product, that taught me how I can launch my own. Even though we weren't launching the same thing, even though our products and our services are wildly different, it helped me to recognize these steps, the things that we missed in his launch that I could implement and learn from and activate for my own. A launch strategy is good regardless of what the product or the service that you're launching is. And so one of the things I want to share with you today in terms of launching the product and then analyzing the process, make up a launch. Like, people want to learn this when they have their big product. I don't really need to know launch strategy until I have my big product. No, you can launch something free. Launch a boot camp that's free. Launch a 10-day challenge that's free, but launch it, because the muscle that you're working in launching that thing is going to it's going to yield benefits for you on the paid product that you will eventually launch on the back end. Man, I did a launch at our church where we were doing this 30-day fitness challenge, getting people into the Facebook group, getting them to post. We learned a ton from that, and we did not charge any money for the entire process, and we learned a ton from it. A launch process, even if you see somebody else that's got something that they're launching, be part of it. Do you know that an entire campaign, right? An entire political campaign for, let's say, for public office. Maybe you're running for House of Representatives. Maybe you're running for Congress. Maybe you're running for senator. Maybe you're running for governor. Maybe you're running for president. But that entire campaign process is very similar. It's very akin to a launch. Do you have the credibility? Do you have the street cred? Why will people listen to you? Why would somebody patronize you? Why would they buy your product and not another person's product? Why would they go into your coaching program and not somebody else's coaching program? It is very similar. And those that you win, quote unquote, win to your side are kind of like the votes. And do you know what one of the best things that will help a politician to prepare for their own run for office is? Joining someone else's political run, helping them run for office. And so this is what I want to leave you with today. It's going to be bite-sized. It's not gonna make it long. But what I want to leave you with today is, as you are considering your launch strategy, don't box yourself into the idea or to the thing of it's got to be I can't learn launch strategy until I'm launching something for myself. Some friend, some sibling, some pastor, listen, some colleague, some collaborator, a fellow creator is going to be doing a launch. And that is a great time to say, let me shadow you. Let me help you with the launch. Let me sit with you while you're doing your planning. Let me be part of your launch team, because being at the table is its own benefit. I don't want to be paid. I can't tell you how many products I have been involved in the launch of. A friend of mine launching his book. I was very much involved with that process, not because I had a vested interest in his book. I was involved in that process because I one day want to write a book, and I want to be certain, I want to be familiar with the process to launch a book. I just had Justin Moore on our masterclass series, who launched the Sponsor Magnet book. Earlier in our launch, in our masterclass series, we had Junaid Ahmed, who launched his book, and I had him on as well. I hope that you're seeing the correlation. I not only want to be part of and familiar with, intimately aware of the process, I want to be part of the strategy. I hope that you see it in your live show, in your content. Have you ever thought about bringing somebody in who's launching something? They're launching their 5-step program. Bring them on. If it has a overlap with your audience and your topic, and in your niche, bring them on so that they can have you as part of their launch strategy. Launching a product or service requires us to be intentional, requires us to think through what those steps are going to be. It's going to require us to really hone in on what that experience is going to be. But it relies so heavily on having some reps. That's why the analyze part of today's masterclass preview. Yes, the launch. That's where you launch it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. That's the launch. That's where you open up the store. That's when you make the merch available. That's when the book is released. That's when the service is now public and people can book it. That's the launch. You launch it. It's now publicly available. The launch is the launch. But the analysis shares with us that, one of the ways that I can prepare to launch my own product is to be a part of someone else's product launch, seeing their strategy and getting in the reps, getting in the time, the requisite amount of game time where you are actually putting pen to paper, actually being part of the activity involved in launching a product or service. I have been involved in multiple, and I want to give you that as a cheat code today. Even if you don't have a product or a service, listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Tomorrow's masterclass, yes, tomorrow, March 7, 10 a.m., Stephanie Garcia is our guest. She's going to be talking about launch strategy demystified. She's going to share with us what is a launch. Why is it important? What are the critical components? What is the mindset that you need to have? And she's going to share with us a case study of a launch she just did with a recent client of hers that had a very short window of time. But because she's done the reps, because she has been integrally involved in launching so many people's product, she could put together a plan of action that enabled them to have success beyond their wildest imagination. And she's going to share those details with us tomorrow. And some of you are still in the valley of decision trying to figure out whether I'm not really doing a launch, so I don't necessarily need to come for the masterclass tomorrow. I want to dispel that by saying one of the best ways to prepare for a launch is to be involved in a launch before you need it. Before you need it. Before you even have a product or service to launch, be involved with somebody else's. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. All right. Now we're going to get into, this is the time where I turn the music on. This is the time where I turn back towards the comment section. Where y'all at? Where y'all at today? Anthony T. Ladson is on, says, hello, my friend. Hello to you as well. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out. I hope that you have already made your decision in terms of coming to the masterclass. Jim Lawyer is on, says, hello from everyone from Ohio. Jim and I got a chance to meet recently, and I'm excited about that. Jim, I owe you an email. We ran into a little hiccup, but I'm going to get that email out to you hopefully today. David Hunt says, Mama, I made it. David, I don't know what it is, man. It's like the time difference has completely tripped you up this week. And I was just told yesterday that we will, is it lose an hour, gain an hour this weekend? This coming Saturday night, we spring forward. I think it is. Yeah. Spring forward. Yes. So that's where we will be. That's where we will be. That's what we will be doing this coming weekend. So hopefully that time zone thing doesn't mess you up too bad, because it's going to get even worse as we get into next week. But you listen, 10 o'clock is Central Time. 11 o'clock is Eastern Time. And that is 8 a.m. for my folks in the West. So I hope that you can make it. Hope that you've put it on your calendar. It is free. That's the best price on the planet. I see my guy, Doc Ladson says, yes, I will be there. And I thank you for making sure you're going to be there. On their next podcast, OTN says, to peace, salute to the God and the squad. Always good to have you come through and hang out with us, sir. Always appreciate it. Any questions for me today, man? Listen, we've done our good work in terms of just advertising the masterclass. We've shared with everyone that this is where we are. This is what it's going to be. This is what it's all about. But what I'm just hoping is that you will head on over to the website, kirkarnugent.com/masterclass. And then you will avail yourself of the services that are there. Some people have been asking about different other things that we do. And I'm gonna be honest, man, if you go to the website, okay, first, this is the masterclass page and you can see that it's there. I don't know what's going on with my system, but anyway, you can see that it's there. But on the masterclass page, it's interesting. Let's go back to the home page and let's see about Kirk, speaking, resources, watch, merch. I thought that there was a button on here that would take you to book me. Anyway, but if you go to the book me portion of the page, this is where you can find the services. You can find the service. You can schedule a discovery call and some other things here. Hey, y'all, get this. Since nobody has a question, let me just share this with you real quick. Yo, I attended a webinar, Kajabi Heroes webinar. That's what Heroes is the term they use for Kajabi users. Heroes. I think that's pretty dope. You got to have a name for your tribe, right? You got to have a name for your tribe. But I went to a Kajabi webinar. One second. That's good water. I went to a Kajabi webinar. And they shared that that they have built in scheduling into Kajabi now. So I have been using Calendly for my scheduling, and it's, you kind of have to piece it together. You have to, you sell the coaching on my website on Kajabi, and then I have to send them over to Calendly for them to have access to my calendar. And so I'm still going to use Calendly for things that I don't have on my website, but I'm definitely going to shift my coaching over to Kajabi because that's pretty dope. Everything's going to be in one sheet of glass, right? The potential coaching client, or even somebody who decides they just want to book a one-off tech media consult session, they can do all of that right from my website now because I have the ability to integrate my calendar, and I can actually see the person can actually see what my availability is when they could potentially book the session, and then they can pay for it, book it, and all of that integrates into my notes, both for the client and for myself. We can record the session and it's made available to the client right there on my site. And then that person is given an account on my site, and it's always easier. I'm giving y'all so much cheat codes today. It's always easier to resell someone who's already a client than it is to create a new client. And so those are all the pieces that I was like, oh snap, we about to run. We're about to run. That joint is absolute fire. So I wanted to share that with you today. Yes. KirkRNugent.live/book me. Moderators are doing the good work in the chat today. David Hunt is like, yeah, nah, I will not be beaten out. I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing my moderator duties today, and I want to thank you. Yeah, there's 10 of you guys on the live today. I knew there wasn't gonna be a whole lot of questions. I'm just making sure. Yeah, let me go. I just want to go into the back end of YouTube on this video and make sure that it is set to public. And I don't want to. Yeah, it's public. It's public. Everybody can be here. All right. So we're live right now. Bet. Okay, cool. Everything is set up right. I just wanted to make sure that it is indeed set up right. Hey, Florence, what's going on with you? Always good to have you with us today. And listen, in terms of the masterclass previews, we went through several items. But today was launch and analyze. Some of the tips that I found helpful for a successful launch was, of course, start planning early. Definitely want to start planning early. You want to collaborate with other influencers. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier today. I have been party and part of several other influencers' launch strategy. I've definitely been part of multiple people's launch strategies. So don't think you have to go it alone. That's definitely something to consider. Another thing, host a giveaway. And if you guys see what Kanika and I did for Incubator's Couch, that's exactly what we did. We did a giveaway. We partnered with other creators. And by other creators, including me, like Kirk Nugent, even though it's my wife and I's show, but on my channel, it's like partnering with another creator to say, hey, that this new show is coming. So you collaborate with influencers. So first, start planning early. Second, collaborate with influencers. Third, host a giveaway. Fourth, share your press release. Oh man, I remember when I asked a coaching client about this. I was like, yo, send me the press release and I'll make sure to put it in my newsletter. And they were like, press release? I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a launch. You got to have a press release or something, right? A press kit, something. And he's like, okay, I don't have one of those, but give me a few hours and I'm gonna send you one. And for sure, he definitely whipped one together, and it was definitely a transformative moment for him, because he was able, with that one press release, he had all the pertinent information on there, very, very cleverly designed. He was a designer, so that part he didn't need to outsource. He was able to design that thing really well, and that was actually part of a critical piece of his launch strategy, was that press release. So definitely make sure that you have a press release. And then the last item I have on the list, that it says to be realistic. You got to be realistic. You got to set realistic timelines. You got to set realistic goals. You got to be realistic in the entire process. Realistic in the outcomes as well. Realistic in what you're expecting from that initial launch. You got to be realistic. Okay. All right. Where are we on comments and questions? Okay. Glad that you are here today. David Hunt says, okay. OTN says, what would be a good giveaway for the launch of a cooking channel? Don't do it, David. Don't do it. We're not talking about okra. Okay. What would be a good, let me put that question back up. What would be a good giveaway for the launch of a cooking channel? What would be a good giveaway for the launch of a cooking channel? It depends on what the cooking channel is going to cover. What is the cooking channel going to cover? If the cooking channel is going to cover, and what is, man, I'm a lot of ideas are just running through my head right now. But one of the things, I have a friend, this is not a client, but a friend who actually has a cooking channel, and they have merch, for the different things that they cook. But the point of their channel is to help people to cook healthier. And so one of the giveaways that they did is a half-hour consult session where they help to put together a weekly diet for the client. So that's a great giveaway for a cooking channel. But you got to so hear what I'm saying. In their instance, the point of their channel is to get people more healthy. So yes, he and it's a couple. They both do cooking on the channel. They show you how to do it. They give you recipes and different things like that. And all of those would be good giveaways if you have recipes that you can give away. But in their case, because their point is they want people to be healthier, they gave away a consult session. A half-hour consult session, to be clear, which is not, what their usual consult session is an hour. And that was wildly popular. People wanted that consult session because they didn't know even really where to begin. And it got to the point where they gave away, I think, 4 or so sessions, but then they ended up booking like 20 sessions because people who were watching were like, whoa, I don't even care if I can get it for free. I didn't know you guys had sessions. Let me book the session. And so that's it. For a cooking channel, that would be good. We will have chef bios, recipe demos. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Hey man, listen. OTN. I love it. Yeah. Listen, if they're local, if the person that you're giving away the thing to is local, maybe you could do like a dinner for them, where the channel hosts actually cook dinner for them. Anything is possible. I mean, just be creative with it. I think But I think if you're gonna make it, you always want your giveaway to be locked in with what you're doing. I don't know what's going on behind me there. You want your giveaway to be locked in with what your end goal is. So for this particular couple, their end goal was to do the consult sessions. And so one of the things I said was, well, if that's your end goal, is to be able to get people from watching their channel and consuming content and hopefully getting healthier to coming in, booking a session with you, and allowing you not only to do an assessment and give them a meal plan, but also to be their coach. They said, yes, that's the end goal. I was like, well, then give one away for free. Do a beta group where you take some people through your coaching program, take some people through your consult sessions, let people have the experience of doing it. And once they have the experience of doing it, you get their testimonials. That's all you're asking for. It's a giveaway because they're not actually paying anything for it, but how you are being compensated is by their feedback to tweak your process and your product, but also their testimonial to be able to be part of your promotions when you actually launch that product for real. So I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for the question. I think that was critical. I think that's going to be great, to help other people recognize the value. 15 of you guys on the live today. I want to say a word of thanks. I see that there are 6 people who hit the like button. And I can't thank you enough for hitting that like button. Truly appreciate it. Don't take even one of them for granted. It's 12:28 here in the Central Time Zone. I've got a little bit of time today, not too much, but I got a little bit of time. So if you have questions related to launch strategy, related to content, related to coaching, if you have questions related to any of the platforms that I normally cover on this channel, and even some new platforms that are coming out, please, by all means, hit us up in the comment section right now. Go ahead and put a Q colon in front of that bad boy, and we will get your questions answered. Dr. Tashi is here. Good day to you as well. Thank you so much for being with us. Always good to have you. I listened back to the live from 2 days ago where I was in this office, but had a totally different setup. I just had the little Rode mic on my chest, and then but I was using the same camera, but I was using the Rode mic, and I was like, man, the audio on that episode, on that live, is garbage. I left it up, but I'm definitely going to take it down. And so you can see that today I went and grabbed a audio interface. It's not that I grabbed it; it was always there. It's just that the mic was somewhere else. So I did grab the mic and plugged it up to the audio interface, and that's what I'm using today. And I hope that the audio is better today. And I apologize for that, the terrible audio from 2 days ago. And I want to say a word of thanks to all of you for coming and hanging out with us yesterday for the Coaching Corner, while we got a chance to test out a new product. It was great. I got some feedback from Shure. They were like, never in a million years did we think that a test could be that way. So that was interesting, because they were like, yeah, even though they said you need to update the device, and you need to update the Shure Move Mic receiver before you can pair the new Move Mic 88 Plus to the receiver. But the challenge for me was I wanted to unbox it with you guys live. And so, like, how do I update it and then put it back in the box? I mean, maybe some people want to do that, but I wanted to get that fresh reaction with the rest of you while live. And they were like, yeah, we never thought about that before. And we thank you for showcasing that, because doing it that way gave us some insight and perspective on how we can do our launches differently. You see, nothing is disconnected. I hope that you catch this. In the middle of our masterclass preview week, I did a coaching corner where we talked about the launch of a new product, the Move Mic 88 Plus. And part of the launch from Shure's perspective, from Shure's standpoint, is to collaborate with creators. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it, y'all? Like, we are involved with launches all the time, just from a consumer perspective. I mean, how many of us watch when Apple has an event? It's a launch. How many of you, when the new Beats headphones drops, when the new Jordans come out, or man, listen, we're all, when there's a new movie premiere, that's a launch. We are involved with launches all the time. All the time. I had to sign an NDA to get access to that new mic before it launched, because they wanted to ensure, to even though they are sending it out to creators for creators to create content on the product, they wanted to ensure that we stay quiet as part of the launch. It's part of the launch. So all of it is relevant. And I hope that becomes clear in terms of some of the things that we're sharing here today. All right. Q: is how your question is formatted, please. Thank you so much, Florence Donald, for your support. Okay, don't know what happened there. When can we expect the loopback video? Oh, okay. So loopback, you wanted the loopback. Remind me again. I wrote it down, but I think I wrote it down at my desk at home. So I don't have it necessarily in front of me here. Yeah. I have experimented with it, yes. And yes. Okay, so you've got two questions, but remind me of the loopback video. I think you wanted loopback and EV Mux, is that right? Or was it loopback and something else? Remind me of what you were looking for from that loopback video, because I want to make sure that I made a note about it at home, but I want to make sure that I know exactly what you're talking about. I have a couple of videos I'm going to try and record before I go with the kids on spring break. So there's a couple others. One of them is your second question. I am going to be doing a video covering AI generated shorts from live broadcasts from StreamYard. I am definitely going to be covering that. I also am going to be covering another major feature release from StreamYard, one that I have personally been waiting on since I found Ecamm. Since I found Ecamm, I've been waiting on this particular feature from StreamYard, and it is finally here. So I'm excited about being able to cover both of those features. So yeah, loopback in both EV Mux and StreamYard. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely working on that. Hopefully, it's hard to say because I schedule my stuff out, so I've got a couple of things that are covering up the next couple of weeks. But I've got some product videos, or I should say gear review videos that are coming out. I've got some sponsored videos, I should say. So I'm doing some videos on covering some other platforms. So there's a couple of things that are ahead of it. So I would say probably towards the end of the month. Towards the end of March, we should have something out. But what I can do possibly is maybe next Wednesday in the coaching corner, we can just walk through the process, right? So maybe next Wednesday, we'll just call that Loopback Wednesday. Next Wednesday, it'll be spring break. I don't know about next Wednesday, but maybe the following Wednesday when I'm back, because it's going to be way better if I'm in my home studio space. But one of those Wednesdays for the coaching corner, we can just do a loopback breakdown. And I can show you how I use it with Ecamm, how I use it with StreamYard, how I use it with EV Mux, how I use it with Zoom. I mean, I use loopback with everything. So, loopback and audio hijack, it's such a match made in heaven. Audio hijack, as the name suggests, you can hijack the audio from anything and direct it wherever you want it to go. So it's a great setup to be able to use. So hopefully that makes sense. But I will say Loopback is a Mac only product. So I don't know if you have a Mac OTN. I don't know if you have a Mac. Anyway. Yeah, they've got to step up. They have to step up. That's so true, OTN. They've not only been feeling the heat, they've been feeling the burn they've been feeling the burn, and they've been seeing brake lights, right? Because they're getting left behind, so they are having to do some stuff for sure. All right, Jim Lawyer says, any good off the shelf software for run of show using Google Sheets right now? I'm gonna be honest with you. I was on a really big show, and their run of show was in Google Sheets. So right off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. At church, we use a product called Planning Center, I think it is. And that's where I think it's Planning Center or Church Center. I can't remember what it is, but the term is, but that's what we use to create our run sheets. And it's integrated with the overall church, because there are different people who are already in the app for other reasons. And so using that to create the run sheet means that all those people get access to the run sheet, just by virtue of them already being in the Church Center app. So yeah, that's one. And I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily call it off the shelf. I guess it is off the shelf. You just buy it. It's a cert. Yes, Planning Center. Thank you, David. So I have used Planning Center to do that, but for my own show, no, I don't use software at all. I either use Google Sheets or Google Docs. A lot of our run sheets are in Google Docs. There is let me go back now. Hold on. There is something at the media ministry where I work. We do use a product. What is the name of that product? It'll text them too. Accounts. Let's go to accounts. No. Sheesh. Let me go to receipts, maybe receipts. Set Hero. That's it. Set Hero. We use Set Hero now. I don't know if Set Hero is a bit too much for what you're doing, but it's just as it's spelled, SETHERO.com. Set Hero. That's yeah. And right on the homepage, it says, damn good call sheets in 20 minutes. Yeah. So we use that here. And at the media ministry, where I'm sitting right now. I'm actually at the media ministry. So at church, we use that Planning Center, but at work, I use Set Hero. And that's the one right there, sethero.com. I don't have an affiliate, but it's something that we have been using for years. It allows us to do the whole run sheet, but it's probably overkill for a live show or whatever. The shows that we record that we use Set Hero for, I mean, we're talking about different guests coming from different places. It has the ability to put flight information in there, hotel information in there, all that stuff, because, for what we do, we're bringing people in to record different things, and you have a call time, you got hair and makeup. So you have a time where you need to be actually on site. You got your tech crew, and everybody's in Set Hero. And so it really does all the work for us. In fact, like I mentioned, it does send out a text message as well. So that's really clutch. Yeah, as we have two hosts, want a way we both can stay on track. Yes. No, totally understand. And the reason why a lot of people stay with Google Sheets and with Google Docs is because of the shared functionality, where both people can be in it at the same time, and in real time you can make changes and everybody sees the changes that are being made. That's probably one of the biggest needs of a run sheet, is that it's not a piece of paper that if I make a change, I have to now print out another piece of paper. It needs to be a document, a soft document that can be changed, and it's living, right? Because it's going to move, it's going to shift on a dime. As the requirements shift, your time will shift, and so all of those pieces are what make for a good run sheet. So that's why I really haven't done anything more than just using that for my personal shows. All right, y'all. I got 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. You guys have asked some good questions today. Apologies. I'm trying to get more water in, y'all. Pray for your boy. Got to get more water in. Water, 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 water. Yeah. It's the healing of the nation. All right. Well, listen, one of the things that I am always practicing is if it doesn't need to be any longer, then we don't need to keep it any longer. So I want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with us, for being with us today. I am praying that many of you will join us for the masterclass tomorrow. Tomorrow, Launch Strategy Demystified Masterclass. And here's another thing that I want to say about this whole masterclass series as we close it out for today, man. There's a whole list of masterclasses, previous masterclasses there on the page. And in addition, of course, we, this month, this particular class is on Launch Strategy Demystified. We've done masterclasses on becoming a sponsor magnet, learn live selling with Billy Thorpe, the art of reflecting forward with Pierre Quinn. We had learning content planning with Kat Mulvihill. Find and or confirm your topic masterclass, which was one that I hosted myself. We did a video editing class for DaVinci Resolve with my video editor, JD Adopt. And then we also had the home studio masterclass. Here's what I want to share, y'all. Every one of these were provided to you at no cost, but it is something that, we definitely make available, and it does require time, effort, energy, and some resources. I'll say it that way, both financial and otherwise, that to make these things happen. And so the reason why we're able to do that is because of membership. Is because there are those who have signed up on YouTube to be a member, and they support us to the tune of about $9 a month, and you see them in the chat with that yellow dot next to their name, and I appreciate you. I want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you. In addition to that, at a different level, there are those who have signed up for Workers Warehouse membership. That's on my website. Some of them pay the annual fee of $500. Others pay the monthly fee of $45 a month. And I can't thank them enough. The reason why we're able to make these things available is because of the support that we have coming from members. Real talk, from members, from coaching clients, from those who are patronizing our services. So I want to say a word of thanks to each and every one of you. Those of you who have signed up for membership, those of you who have signed up for coaching, who have signed up for a consultation, maybe a one-off ideation session, whatever it is you have signed up for. If you have patronize our services in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you are part of the engine that continues to make these content on this channel happen, and masterclasses on the first Friday of every month happen for free. Even though it's only a 24-hour replay, but you still get access to this valuable content. I think it's valuable content, and you get access to it for free. The people who are coming and sharing the speaker this coming Friday, not somebody who's cheap, not at all. But she comes and she's going to share from her considerable years of experience and expertise. And we're excited about that. We're excited to be able to bring that kind of content to this space and to this community, because that's what I feel this community needs. And that's what it's all about. But if you have ever wondered what the structure looks like, that's what it is. $9 a month on YouTube, and that allows you to get access to early access to content. So one of the things that I was going to say to OTN is there's about 3 or 4 videos on my YouTube channel right now that have not released publicly yet, but they're already accessible to members. So when the loopback video is completed, I have to, because I want to maintain consistency, I have to put it as part of my my release schedule, if that makes sense, right? I release every Sunday. So if I have all the Sundays in March already lined up, even if I record the video tomorrow, I'm still going to have to put that video somewhere in April. But even as I schedule it for release in April, the members have access to that video already. You see what happens right there? It's because they've already, it doesn't, any video I upload to YouTube, members get access to it immediately. I don't wait for a release schedule for members. I release it to the algorithm on a, with consistency every Sunday. But for members, I don't. And I'm just sharing all these pieces to say, this is the engine that drives what we do and how we do. That's how I pay my video editor. That's how we pay our graphic designers. That's how we are able to bring in resources. That's how we're able to do a free sponsor magnet book for every member of Workers Warehouse, because Workers Warehouse members either paid $500 for the year or $45 a month. And so the content we put on YouTube is, of course, free, and you pay us back with your comments. You pay us back with your support by watching the video. You pay us back by sharing the videos, tagging, liking. But in order to get to the point where the video is made, there is an engine that makes this work. And regardless, it's not just with me, regardless of who your favorite creators are, there's always a way for you to be part of that engine. And we would love it if you would be able to support us in some tangible ways, whether it be through monthly membership, $9 a month, or if it's through being a member on the website, a member in the Workers Warehouse, which is $45 a month or $500 a year. So those are just a couple of things that I wanted to make sure that you know. And I see Doc Basharo with the yellow dot right next to his name, right? Because that means he's a member. It says, I'm about to binge the masterclasses and the lead up videos you made leading up to them. Come on. And oh, by the way, these lead up videos, they're not going to be available after tomorrow. These lead up videos all go into the members only community. This is how we're making that distinction. These videos actually don't have an algorithm place on my channel, right? Because I talk about live streaming and live content and that kind of thing. So I do these videos and then I put them in the vault, if that makes sense. And so I just want to say a word of thanks. Jim Lawyer says, thanks again, Kirk. We'll be online tomorrow for the masterclass. Absolutely. OTN says, definitely going to be for the master here. I'll be there for sure for the masterclass. And I see Florence is coming through, just saying what's up to some folks as well. Thank you, family, for your time and attention today. It has been real. It has been fun. But I cannot overstate it. I cannot thank you enough for tuning in, hitting the button when you get the notification that we're live or that we have new content, for supporting us in whatever way you find yourself supporting us. Links are in the description for you to be able to join membership in if you feel so inspired. And if you want to do a discovery call before doing so, that's fine too. Just go ahead and book that. But it's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention today. We will see you on around these internet streets. Is that what I usually say? Or in the next video. Grace and peace, fam. See you tomorrow for the masterclass. Later. For the content creator, podcaster, YouTuber, blogger, course creator, coach, author, and even consultant, we're always launching something. Bro. Could be your channel, your live show launch, or even podcast launch. Could be your course launch, or you're launching a coaching program, or even launching membership. Could be you're launching your book, a challenge launch, or even a merch page. Countless times, I'm sitting in a coaching call, hearing the work that has been put into a product or service or content, and have to ask that dreaded question, what's your launch strategy? All
all too often that question is met with confusion, a made-up answer on the spot, or an actual launch plan that drastically misses the mark. I'm super excited to share that on Friday, March 7th at 10 a.m. Central Time, we're having our free monthly masterclass. This time it's titled Launch Strategy Demystified with guest presenter Stephanie Garcia, veteran marketer, remote producer, live selling host, and product launch strategist. In this class, you'll learn what a launch is and who needs it. You'll learn launch fundamentals and mindset, and hear a case study that Stephanie will share from a recent client project. Again, that's Friday, March 7th at 10 a.m. Central Time for the Launch Strategy Demystified free masterclass. I'll see you there.